Guys, good evening, guys. Hi, everybody. So we're going to talk about something today. Nice little Sunday evening vibe. Hi, Kaj. How are you doing? Yes, Lansford, I ate dinner already because you never offer me any, so I had to go and see if I can help myself in the kitchen. Good evening, guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Righty, so I guess everybody saw my post yesterday about I thought today we talk a little bit about relationships and dating in 2017, because there are little things I want to try and understand. I don't know if you guys kind of boggled about it too. Yes, Lansford, I had to go and help myself in the kitchen because you didn't give me any. Happy Sunday, guys. Alright, guys, so let me ask you something. Do you think that in 2017 love still exists, or do you think people still date for love, or is it for something else? Let me hear what you say. Hi, Cuz. Hi, Gary. Card, why you say love doesn't exist? Why do you say love doesn't exist? Because I really thought about it, and after I made my post yesterday, it hit me that for real, based on certain comments that I got from some of my friends, they are saying that based on what they're saying, I think it still exists, but it is just that we show it. So thank you, Casey. I still believe it does exist, but I just think that we have just conformed too much to what society wants, and especially because we become so Americanized, we just assume that it shouldn't. Because instead of looking for love, what we do is we look for material things, and sex toys. Hi, Romaine. Good evening. Hi, Cuz. Larita, hi. So, basically for me, that's one of the things why I'm here. Because I want to hear from you guys what you think. That's true, Kadi. The thing is, I think we have too many skewed perceptions of what we ought to look for as it relates to love and dating. Because for me, one of the reasons why I think I am so slow to jump onto the dating scene is that I don't think people date anymore. People just don't date anymore. It is all about this fast-paced movement, who can get what out of who for the space of time that you are around, and so it just gets lost on the people who really want to find somebody for love, and who wants to grow with somebody and accomplish something. And then even for those who try to find it and try to make it work, there are just so many distractors and so many factors out there that are breaking people up and causing so much tension and strife in people's relationships. And it's just because of greed on our side. You have too many men who become so selfish with themselves and what they want, and they want us as women to just accept the fact that they are men, and it is just their way, it is their thing from African beliefs and yada that men should have multiple women and all of that. And women, we become so greedy in a sense where we want a man who can help us out of a situation. And so some of us as women, when we don't ask a guy for anything, we just ask him for time, effort, compromise, understanding, little things that cost no money. It's as if men don't appreciate that. To me, that's why I asked a very valid question one time, Do men like complicated women? Because as far as I'm concerned, complicated women are the ones who actually get the good men. And it is somewhat, I think, from Stone Age, where men like to be dominated in a little sense. So they say nice girls don't win, because when you're too nice and too laid back, you're the one who is taken for granted. And the women who will tear you down and fight you down and say, you know, I want money to put on me here, I want my bills to pay, and me need this and me need that. What is it that you do if you walk into a woman's place and you find out that she has a little bit of everything? Why is it that men automatically tell themselves that there is nothing they can do for that woman? Where do you get that from? Why do you think that when you look at a woman and she's well put together and she's educated and she's out there on the hustle and, you know, she's living good and taking care of herself and taking care of kids, and she has it together, so why do you think that you have nothing else? Because you have been brainwashed to think that. Yes, Jalisa, and I'm gonna look at that aspect too. Why do you assume that you have nothing to offer a woman if it is not something you can buy, put in her place, or pick up a bill and pay? It goes without saying. Personally, I like a man with initiative. I like a man who I don't have to tell, do this for me, do that for me. Yes, I have my stuff. Yes, I'm working. Yes, I take care of myself. But that doesn't mean that you can't take the initiative to say, all right, you know what? I know you'd never ask for anything, or you don't ask me to do anything, but this is just my way of showing you that I appreciate you for that. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that. And this thing where you always say to the woman, we can't come look for you. When can I stop by? All of those things. I have had to tell people that I don't live at a hospital because everybody wants to come and look for me. I said, leave that for when I am bedridden and I'm ill, and you know, I can accept my visitors then. But what about telling the lady, you know what, I really like your company and I'd like to take you out. It doesn't have to be somewhere expensive. It doesn't have to be somewhere. It's just a simple drive, right? But a woman likes when a man takes initiative. We don't like when we have to be telling men. And contrary to what people may believe, men do know what women want. Men do know. Because if you want to check that theory, you check a man's energy when he sees you and he likes you and he's trying to get to know you, or he's trying to get to meet you and get to be in your good graces. He does all the nice things. You get everything out of him at that point. And I'm not here to bash men, because I consider myself very, very fair, right? Because we have some of us women too. We like complications. We don't like when a man who is single and is really trying to come after us, we kind of shut him down because, oh, that is not complicated enough. If the man isn't tied up in another relationship or has, you know, so many other things going on, it's as if people's lives are our challenges, and it really shouldn't be, because that is why we complicate life so much. And really, life doesn't have to be complicated. All we have to do is to say what we mean, do what we mean, and let our actions match our words. And I mean, for those of us who are practical like I am, I'm a very practical person. I expect you to fail. I expect mistakes, because we're all humans. But if you're going to try and lie to me and play around and go around, and I just think it's some people's natural instinct to like loopholes and to like go around Mulberry Bush and come back around. Yes, Jalisa, it's a thrill. And people's lives are becoming like, you know, games. You just play the game because you want to win, and you don't really care about how it may affect the other person. But I am a little bit of old school, and I really like, you know, I like, what would you say now? The dynamics, right? So you can be old school and you can be dynamic at the same time, right? Don't be so stuck in your ways where somebody's efforts may become unnoticed because you're just used to things being done a set way. So if somebody's really trying but in a different way, we don't recognize it or we don't appreciate it because it's not the way how we see it or not the way how we are used to it. But I think 2017 is really showing us that time has really evolved and people have really, different generation, and we have to accept that this generation gap exists and it is affecting the real order of life and how it really should be going. We have become so Americanized where even American people, celebrity lifestyle, we want to take up that kind of lifestyle and call it our own when we don't have the resources, we don't have the space and the time for all of that. Because I always like to say to people, life is too short and unpredictable for us to be carrying on with all of this, I mean, live within our means and treat people the way that we would want to be treated. If you don't like somebody, don't waste their time. Don't take their things. I mean, you don't like them, let them know you don't like them that way. And it's not a nice feeling. And likewise, if we see some people with their lives put together, and if we see things going for them, and if we know and swear and know to God that we're not going to offer anything different or anything better, leave the person alone. Allow somebody else who means that person well to take up that task. If you're into the running up and down and all over the place and playing tricks and playing Anansi, fine, go. There are people out there who want to facilitate that, but there are some people who are ready. They're ready to meet somebody. They are ready to put their lives together. They're ready to grow. And who knows, you may have set somebody way back, because people go through phases, and at that point they may just be ready to commit and change their life, turn their life around and do something meaningful with it. And there you come and you pretend and you act as if you are that person when you know deep down that you are not ready and you are not the one. And you set that person back. You have taken away that person's trust and that person's confidence that may have taken years to build, and you take it away just because of your selfishness. So I mean, it's just that people are not into this because of genuine reasons. Everybody is in it for some form of gain. Dion, I do agree to a point, and that is why I touched on that topic. I actually said something because you may not get, and I'm going to highlight it now that you mention it. It is true that amidst all of the other things that we have going on, there are just some of us who we are into this, if the man don't come ready-made or the woman, because believe it or not, don't think that it's only women who look for men for security reasons and for material gain. You have men who do it too. If a woman can't take up money and give you, or if a woman can't buy something or send you some money or give you something, you're not interested. So it is a human flaw that I find out that we have nowadays, is that we don't like work in progress. We don't like a man who is trying and he's working his way up. We want a ready-made man who has his house and his car and his assets in place and money in the bank because he's an accomplished man. But if it's a man who is working, he's in the process of making something of himself, we don't try to give that person a chance. Likewise, for the woman who is trying to go back to school, who is trying to help herself, you have some people who don't appreciate that. Work in progress, we call them, just as what Dion said, and it's true. We like ready-made and we like finished products, and sometimes the real people don't turn up like that. They are work in progress, and it goes both ways, because sometimes, honest to goodness, there are some people who they are work in progress and they find a woman or they find a man who will work with them and bring them to a point, or they reach a point together. And sometimes people become so selfish where they feel like they have outgrown that person, right? And once the person help you to reach somewhere, it's as if they are no longer good enough for you. And so what you do is that you drop the person for somebody else who you might think is shining a little brighter. and so you drop the person, you disrespect the person, you start to neglect the person, and you have forgotten the person who was there beside you when you were just a work in progress. And it's unfair, and it shouldn't be, but it happens. And sometimes we just need to take a stop and to just watch ourselves, and to just kind of remind ourselves that, hey, karma exists, and whatever I dish out to people, it can happen to me. It doesn't necessarily have to happen to me, but I have to think about the fact that for me personally, I have a daughter. I have to think about the fact that something I do, it can affect my daughter further down the road. Something I do can affect my sisters or my brother, depending on what I do. So the retribution doesn't have to take me, but it can affect somebody around me. And so we do our things because we say, all right, nobody now gonna know, or sure, that is just how it goes. But we're not thinking about the reverse. And whenever I'm in a situation, I like to tell people, hey, think about if you were in my situation, what would you do? What would you do? And sometimes that is what kind of pull people back, and they will say, honestly, if I was in your situation, I probably would have dealt with it worse, or I wouldn't have dealt with it at all. So sometimes we need to understand from somebody else's perspective what we are doing and how it can affect other people's lives. So all in all, dating, getting to know somebody, all of that has just fallen flat. And right now everybody is just like a going through the motion kind of thing, and deceiving and see who can get away with what without being caught or without being found out. And what we tend to forget is that there are genuine people out there. Yes, some of us, we come with a little extra baggage because of the past. And when I say to some people, let go of the past, it might sound contradictory. Let go of the past, yet hold on to it. And I'm going to explain why I said that. When you let go of the past, when I say that, it is to shed the baggage that the past comes with. And sometimes when we carry our baggage with us, it sometimes prevents other people from getting close to us and getting near to us, because yes, that person hurt me, so I'm afraid that you're going to do the same thing. So what you can do is that give the person some time, and you're smarter now, you're wiser now, so you'll know exactly what to look for. So forget the past, forgive whoever hurt you, and allow other people to get to know you, because it doesn't necessarily have to yield the same results. But hold on to the past in the sense where you are not going to forget what happened, and appreciate what happened, because it is what helped to shape who you are. Right? So you're stronger, you're wiser, you're more intelligent, you're more alert. Those are lessons that you learn from the past hurt. So that's the reason you hold on to it. But you shed the baggage of the past so that it doesn't prevent your growth. That is true on social media. And I said that when I mentioned that, celebrity lifestyle, and we watch what everything is happening with celebrities and their lifestyle, or even right here on Facebook. We come on Facebook and we see people put up pictures of car and house and this and that, and we look at it and we say, you know what, I wish that I could have that, or I wish I could get that. But sometimes we forget everybody has their different struggles, and we don't know what that person had to do on the struggle. So it's not for us to look at it and to envy somebody for what they have, because we don't know the struggles or whatever self-denial and sacrifice and hard work that they had to go through to get it. You have the opportunity to go out there and get it just the same. And I'm not saying that because you have some people who put it up just for hype and just to kind of deflect from themselves that, hey, all is not well. So for some people it's just a front to put out there. It's as a distractor, so that you don't really know the real issue. You don't understand the real thing that is happening with me. And for some of us, we look at it and it is what catches our eye, and we say, oh, that that person look like them have certain things. So you put yourself in the way where you end up meeting the person for your own selfish gain. But like I said, guys, things and times change, but I do believe that there are still genuine people out there who, it is a natural order It's a natural order of life. For as we get older, we want to find somebody. We want to find somebody, settle down with, raise our families. It's just a natural order of life. And although time and generation gap and all of that has somewhat thwarted whatever growth we might have seen, I still do believe that there are genuine men out there, genuine women out there who would want to accomplish that. So my last little bit is that if you genuinely know what you want, just hang in there. Yes, I got that same advice from some of my friends, and I have been following it. I'm not saying that I'm desperate, but you have to take your own advice sometimes, and give advice and listen to the good ones too. Just be patient, and the right person will find you. Never apologize for being who you are. Don't apologize for being a strong personality, because that is what I heard, that my personality is just too strong for some men. And I do agree, I have a strong personality, but I won't apologize for it, because it is who I am. It is nothing to emasculate anybody. I do know when to draw the line. I do know when. But if I am going to be a submissive woman, I have to make sure that the man is worthy of my submission, because then it would mean that that man would have to step up and be a leader and be a provider, right? So that takes a very confident man, and a very assertive man, a very self-assured man. And I am not afraid of a work in progress, neither should you. So if we have our fears, that's okay to have our fears, but we shouldn't let them prevent us from allowing other people to get to know us. Yes, Dion, one question, Kiki, why all these fake women want a real man? Define fake, because if you say fake, I'm going to take it for granted that you're talking about yes, Dion, they might say fake, they want real man, but question to you is, how many men out there are really real? That's my question. So yes, you may have a lot of women who they wear their weave, because that's what you call fake. You wear your weave, your nails, your makeup, whatever. And I'm not going to say a woman can't, because to each his own. But when you look at it, how real are the men out there? Because as far as I'm concerned, you have quite a number of men out there who just pretend to be real, but they're not real. So I don't think for some instance, or in some instance, I don't think a man should ask that question. And Dion, despite what you may think, under all that fakeness, you might just find a real woman under there, buried under all the weave and the makeup, whatever it is that you may categorize as being fake. You might just find a genuine heart under all of that. So it is to each his own. Alright guys, so apart from that, what are you guys up to for this Sunday? Alright guys, so that's my 2 cents. Enjoy the rest of your day, and a happy Sunday again.